welcome to a special edition of the Money Sauce Podcast. On this very special edition of the Money Sauce Podcast, we
Clone
will,
High reference. I love it.
yes, absolutely. I was wondering if you got that one. Yes, we will be talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Nice.
First general question I have for you.
Okay.
After doing the podcast this year and going through the fantasy hockey thing and all that, do you
hmm
feel more excited than you have in years past for these playoffs?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
Why is
I
that?
it was very it was very hard to get into hockey this season. Um, I guess like coming out of the baseball season on that high,
Hmm.
and then the Leafs were so terrible. I don't know if I watched a full game all year.
Interesting.
Um, which in my married life is um, Deshaun and I will both like to sit down and watch the game. So she can fall asleep and I can scroll my phone. I'm just kidding. No, it was just hard. It was hard to transition into hockey, and I had every intent of like getting super into fantasy hockey, and the podcast was part of that.
Mhm.
Um, but there's just not enough hours in the day to cram it all in. So I found it difficult to get into hockey this year, and then the Leafs were so bad they're
Mhm.
not even in the playoffs anymore.
Mhm.
So it's I'm excited to watch maybe a few Buffalo games.
Absolutely.
There's lots to be excited for now that I
Mhm.
say that. Um, like looking at the bracket, I'm like, oh, this could be fun. This could be fun, but like, no, is the answer to your question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How about
And
you?
it's funny. Well, it's the exact opposite for me. While I, you know, watched a few games here and there over the course of the season. Um, a lot of times I found myself like throwing on the game as I'm like laying in bed and falling asleep to the game kind of thing. So I've watched more hockey this year than I had probably, I don't know, the past at least 5 years.
Really?
But yeah, yeah. Um, but I'm excited for these playoffs this year. Uh, and
I
there's
can
a
guess why.
few reasons why, yeah. Um, but we'll get into some of those reasons in a minute here because there's some interesting like storylines going into the playoffs. But as like a general overview, there's it feels different this year. It feels a
Why
little
is that?
different than it has the past couple years. Well, that's one of the reasons is, and this is one of the storylines that I was talking about. So great transition, Garrett.
Just asking questions, man. Just asking the questions.
we
That's what
have
I do.
uh, we have 6 teams that missed the playoffs last season that are in the playoffs this year.
That
Uh,
is fun,
yeah, so the Sabres, of course, the official team of the podcast.
right? Go.
The
Let's go,
Peng
Buffalo.
The Penguins are back in the playoffs after missing last year.
Good job, Kyle.
It's been a few years since the Flyers have been in the playoffs, so that's good. Um, well, I don't feel strongly either way about the Flyers personally, but I mean it's nice to see somebody new in there. The
Nah, Philly
Bru
sucks.
the Bruins are back in that I don't feel so strong about. That was more like a blip than
That's just salt in the wound. Keep going.
And then we have Anaheim getting back in the playoffs for the first time, I believe, in 8 years. And
8 years.
Utah is making their first appearance in the playoffs as well. And on top of that, the defending Stanley Cup champions are gone from the playoffs.
It opens it wide, wide
It
open. It's
does.
wide
It
open.
does. It
Feels
feels,
like we win
and
this
of
bracket.
course, as you mentioned, the Leafs are out this year too. Um, for the sake of, not the sake of, but just for the reason that we aren't going to see the Leafs lose to Boston or Florida again in the first round. You know, um, kind of sick of seeing that happen too, you know?
It's true. You can only get kicked in the gut so many times.
Right. Um, so yeah, I mean, the likelihood of a team from Florida winning the Stanley Cup has been reduced this
Yep.
year.
It's been cut in half.
Yeah, we only have the Lightning this year, and not the Tyler Bay, the Tampa Bay Lightning, just to be clear.
Tyler Bay is great this time of year.
That's I hear it's great all year.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, having six new teams in there feels just fresh and new, and like the possibility of somebody different winning it and all that kind of stuff. I like that. Another kind of storyline because we have, if I'm not mistaken, one, two, three. It's only three Canadian teams in the playoffs this year, but will a Canadian team finally do it?
Hold on. How
Uh,
many Canadian teams did we have last year? I feel like there's always three.
last year we had, of course, the Oilers who went to the Stanley Cup final.
Oilers,
We
Jets,
Jets who are out,
Leafs,
Leafs.
Sens.
Yeah, so that's four.
Calgary wasn't in. Vancouver
No,
wasn't in.
no. Or was
And
Vancouver in?
Montreal wasn't in. I
So
feel like there's always three because that's the way that stupid playoffs work.
I guess. Um, but a Canadian team hasn't won the cup since 1993, so you know, and
Gary only made it harder.
yeah,
Anyways,
can Edmonton finally do it now that Florida's out of the way?
I don't think so.
Is Montreal good enough to make the run? Is
They're pretty
Ottawa
good.
good enough to make the
I don't think
run?
so.
I mean, I and of course the other storyline is, like I mentioned, the Penguins getting back into it. It kind of feels like this might be the last chance for Crosby and Malkin and Letang to
The
get a
Last Dance,
chance.
the
Yeah.
NHL version.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get that documentary on Netflix or
I'd
Amazon Prime.
probably Amazon Prime because they have the rights to Monday Night Hockey, right? Um,
It's so
but
bad.
they're trying, man. They're trying. But
Try
yeah,
harder.
uh, it's I am not particularly a Penguins fan as a rule. Like I don't care either way about the Penguins in most cases, but I do feel myself kind of hoping, you know, eh, not for them to win necessarily as my first choice, but if my first two choices aren't going to get it, like I would like to see Crosby get one last one kind of thing, you know?
I don't hate that at all. I actually kind of
Mhm.
love that story
Yeah, it would
of
be a
like these
cool
old
story.
guys who were not even in the equation last year pulling it together and just Crosby dragging this team over the finish line. I love that story. I'd watch that movie. I didn't pick them to win the cup, but I'd watch that movie.
This is actually their 20th season together as teammates.
Are
So
you
that's,
serious?
yeah, it's the longest tenured trio of players in North American professional
The
sports.
longest tenured trio. That's funny.
So that would be kind of cool. Like I said, third time, is it a charm for Edmonton? Um, they've made the cup final the last 2 years. Florida's gone. Um, you can they get back there? Can they do it?
It's
Or is the window about to close, you know?
these windows close very quickly these days,
Mhm.
and I'm afraid that I don't think they have it in them to go. I mean, I can tell you where I picked them, but I feel like we're saving that for later.
We
But
are,
I
but
just don't think they have the fuel in the tank for it, man.
yeah,
Like,
I
is
can.
Drysdale still injured or is he back now?
It's not confirmed that he's back, but
Okay,
he's been out since March 15th because I thought that might come up, so I looked it up.
nice. I love the
And
research, man.
his status is still to be determined for game one. So
So he's a question mark.
he
So
is.
even if he comes back, he's not going to be 100%.
No, probably not. I mean,
So you've got McDavid, Bouchard.
mhm.
Who's goaltending for them right now? Is it Pickard? Or no, is it still Jerry? Jari?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I'll double check that for
So
you,
it's
but
still like so unstable in that net.
it's been a problem they've had the entire time McDavid's been there. Connor Ingram is the
He's the starter now, so he's taking it from Jari.
yeah, so he's the confirmed starting goalie for game one. And
But I don't feel like goaltending was the reason they lost um,
maybe not,
last year.
no, maybe not this time around the
But
last
it's
few
just been
years, but
so.
it's
Remember
they
Jack Campbell? He was going to solve their goaltending problems.
yeah,
Ah.
crisis averted there. Um, yeah, I don't know what to think about the Oilers. That's where I'm at with this. Like they could go down in 4 games in the first round, or they could win the Stanley Cup. That's kind of my,
No, are they even the favorite in their matchup?
I would say they're the favorite, yes. Or they're playing the Ducks.
One more point more than the Ducks. Point 0.2 more goals per game. Point 0.3 less goals against per game. A much better power play. Power play, according to the NHL bracket
Hmm.
analysis,
Hmm.
power play is the only real advantage they have. So we'll
Really?
see. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Something we'll look into a little bit more here when we look at the bracket. But Las Vegas is one of those teams that feels like they've been around the playoffs forever, literally, since they've been a team. Uh, Torts is there.
7 and
They've,
0. He apparently went 7 and 0 since he was hired.
yeah, that's
So
7-0-1 in their last 8 games.
I still don't think he proved us wrong, but
Um, man, I I'd hate for it to be Vegas, to be honest with you. I'm sick of the Golden Knights. And but
why?
man,
Why are you sick of them?
you know what? This is going to sound maybe more like something a Toronto fan would say, you know what I mean? But well, you'll know what I mean in a second. But like
Okay.
when they got the expansion draft, and we've talked about how that kind of played out and how it wasn't as great for Seattle only a couple years later, and how that basically they came out the gate as a good team. Like not just an okay team, they got a good team from day one. They have,
Well, their team was like a bunch of cast-offs. Like they didn't get any superstars. They had well, their big superstar was Marc-Andre Fleury. So the big like storyline, but for that first Cup final run was like
mhm.
this was the team nobody wanted, but came together and was like more than the sum of their parts.
Since then,
Okay, I'll give that to you.
they've been a good team. I would say they're a good team to get that far, right? And then since then, they've been pretty much in the conversation to be like a cup contender type team every season, right?
So you don't like them because you're bitter towards them because of that?
A little bit, yeah. I'll
Okay,
I'll be honest.
okay, fair enough.
They've
Western Conference Final rival, I get it.
they've I don't believe they missed the playoffs in 2021, 22. That's the only time they've missed the playoffs. Like they've won a Stanley Cup.
Was that after they won the cup?
It was the year before they won the cup,
Okay,
actually. They
so maybe next year's our year. Just saying.
You know what? Those Vegas fans haven't had to suffer yet. and it's not fair.
You're, yeah, you're angry that the new team hasn't had to suffer yet. You
Yeah,
don't know what it's like to go through a cup drought. It's so hard.
yeah,
You're supposed to get one every 30 years.
exactly. It's just, honestly, like, I mean, I'm saying that mostly joking, but like the truth
But
of the matter
true enough to put it
is
on a podcast.
true enough, at least in the fact that they have been in the playoffs every year except for that one year. And after a while, it's like, okay, let's get someone else in here, you know? I'm kind of sick of them now. Um, I'd like to see someone else in here for a bit, I guess.
I have the complete opposite reaction. I love that such a new team was so competitive from the get go. I don't have them going far in my bracket,
Hmm.
um, but I'm certainly not sick of them.
Okay, well that's completely fair too.
I like their jerseys too.
Yeah, I do too. Though I can't lie. Uh, well, speaking about torts, though, seven of the teams that are in the playoffs this year.
He's coached for.
No,
That's not where you're going. Oh,
that's not where I'm going, but that's hilarious. Seven of the teams that are in the playoffs this year have a new coach this year,
oh,
whether they started the season with one or not. So that's kind of interesting that all these new coaches um,
including his old team.
mhm, are making a difference there. And of course, the top note, the top storyline going into the playoffs, Buffalo is back in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It's been a long time. For the first time since 2011, there will be playoff hockey in Buffalo.
that's so great.
Three players from that last game that the Sabres played in the playoffs when they lost 5-4 in overtime to Philly in
Philly
game
sucks.
six
See, I
of the
see.
first round are playing in the NHL still. Three
I'm surprised
players.
it's that many. Who are they?
Well, James Van Riemsdyk, Claude Giroux,
Oh,
and
they're all Philly
Tyler
guys,
and Tyler Myers.
except for
Well, they
Tyler
were
Myers.
in, yeah, they
They
were
were
in
in the
that
series.
game,
Okay,
right?
I thought you meant on that team.
Two players from that game are now NHL GMs, Danny Briere and Mike Greer. And yeah, the Sabres are back. 109 points on the season, and that's actually the highest points they've had in a single season since 2006-07, which is when they last won the President's Trophy, and they went on to lose to the Senators in the Eastern Conference
Was that
Final.
before the overtime loss
Y-
system?
Yes, I believe
Okay,
so.
so it's
Yeah.
more impressive.
And if you remember, that
This is
was
less impressive.
the year that the Senators went on to lose to the Ducks in the Stanley Cup final. So it's been that long. The
The Brian
Ducks,
Burke Anaheim Ducks.
yeah,
The Mike
when
Babcock Ducks.
the
No,
first,
Carlisle.
yeah, the first year they were the Ducks, not the Mighty Ducks anymore.
Dumb.
And the Ducks have gone through the process of having that contending team, their window closing, sinking back to the bottom, wearing the Mighty Duck-esque uniforms again, and are back in the playoffs.
Right?
That's how long it's been since Buffalo's been in the playoffs.
Well,
So, well, let's have a look at the matchups, and I will share my screen so we can see them.
do 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 do.
So, do you want to start with the East or the West?
Let's start with the East.
Okay. In the East. So here's our bracket. I can bring up we'll look at the bracket challenge when we make our picks here. But we'll start with
Are we gonna
the.
make our picks as we go
Do you
through
want to do
this?
that? Yeah, we can do that.
Probably makes the most sense.
Absolutely. We'll start over here then. The Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. So the Buffalo Sabres won their division. The Boston Bruins were the first wild card team. So because the Carolina Hurricanes were first overall in the Eastern Conference, they got the second wild card team. So Buffalo and Boston. Here's a quick analysis for the audio people. When we say analysis, there's air quotes going on there. Um, Looks like besides for power play, the Sabres have the advantage in every category. Higher point total in the regular season, of course, higher goals per game at 3.5 to Boston's 3.3, lower goals against per game, 3 even versus Boston's 3.1. Power play percentage, 19% for Boston, 23.4 for the Bruins. Sorry, I said Boston. I meant to say Buffalo. Has that 19.5%. And the penalty kill for the Sabres, 81.9%, and the Bruins, 77 even. Team leading scorers for the Buffalo Sabres, Tage Thompson, 81 points. Leading scorer on the Boston Bruins, David Pastrnak, 100 points. There we go. That's the quick breakdown. Um, any any thoughts on this series from your end?
I picked Buffalo in 7.
Okay. I like
I
that
like the talent.
you're
I
picking the number of games as well, eh? So
well, they asked the bracket asked me to, so I'll throw it in there.
sounds good.
Um, yeah, I mean, Jeremy Swayman had a great year, but I just feel like
He did, yeah.
I was in college and I stayed with his family, and the dad was like really into sports and stats, and he's like, Garrett, never bet with your heart. And I always think about that because I never listen to that advice. It's sad, but I ignore it every time. I'm going with my heart on this. Buffalo Sabres in 7.
Yeah, I obviously am also picking the Buffalo Sabres. The stats seem to line up for them. I think the they're just a better team. Like I don't think it needs to be any deeper than that, right? Um, yes, Boston. I mean, there's always that comment or whatever, Boston's been here before kind of thing, but they weren't there, which is to say the
Like who from
playoffs
that team was
last
there?
year.
Pasternak was there.
Pasternak, yeah.
Like the most of those guys are Swayman, I guess, was there
Hmm.
for a run. But
Towards
like
the end
the
of it,
core of
yeah.
this team is very different.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we both agree. The Sabres, I will say, and I'm going to keep note of this because it's going to ask me later. I'm going to say Sabres in 6.
In 6,
I think they can take one on the road, take the first two at home because the crowd's going to be crazy, and then they just have to finish them off. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. Les Habitants. Um, Quick stats here. High for most season points, 106 points. More goals per game for neither team because it's both 3.5. Another tie. Goals against per game, Tampa Bay had 2.8 and Montreal had 3.1. So Tampa Bay gets the edge there. Tampa Bay, no, Montreal gets the power play percentage 23.1 to 20.7. The penalty kill, that's the one Tampa Bay runs away with, 82.6 to 78.2. Leading scorer, MVP of the PHL, Nikita Kucherov, 130 points on the season. The Montreal Canadiens had Nick Suzuki with 101 points. I'll defer to you for the first comments and prediction on this one. Again.
I picked the Habs in 7.
Okay.
Probably like a bit of an upset for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, because Kucherov, Vasilevsky, Hedman, the classics are all still there, but they're also a little bit older, a little bit more beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like the energy and the vibe with this Canadians team, I think they're going to come out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got like a lot of young studs to rely on. They're a deep team.
Yeah.
So if they get some goaltending in this bracket, watch out, man.
So no arguments there from me, but I still think they're on the way up. They beat Montreal. Tampa's probably maybe not even on the way down yet. Maybe at the end of their run-ish. I mean, it's got to end eventually, you would think, right? But I think Tampa's been there. They've done that. I think it's going to be a close series, but I'm going to give the nod to Tampa on my bracket. I'm going to give that a 7 game series though, because I think it'll be the long drawn out series of the first round. And we move on to why are you not scrolling down? Okay, anyways, the Eastern or sorry, the Metropolitan Division champions, the Carolina Hurricanes versus wild card Ottawa Senators. Season points, the edge goes to the Hurricanes, 113 to 99. Goals per game goes to the Hurricanes, 3.6 to Ottawa's 3.4. Goals against per game, very close here, but slightly to Carolina because with a 2.9 versus Ottawa's 3 even. Power play percentage, 24% for the Senators, 24.9 slight edge for the Hurricanes. And penalty kill percent, we have 75.7 for the Sens and 80% for the Hurricanes. Leading scorers, Sebastian Aho for Carolina with 80 points. Tim Stutzel for Ottawa with 83 points. Any thoughts on this one, Garrett?
Carolina in 7.
In
No strong
7.
thoughts. Yeah, I don't see Linus Ullmark having a great playoff performance. 7's probably being generous to Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think so.
I don't know. They might come out with some enthusiasm, and like Carolina, I don't know. Reliably, they struggle in the playoffs. I feel like is it Frederick Anderson still their goalie?
I don't think he's still playing hockey.
Frederick Anderson? I'm
I don't.
googling this.
Okay, let's have a quick look
No,
here.
I'll look it up. You talk about your thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Give me
Um,
more dead air here.
what what I think is going to happen is the Hurricanes are going to win. I think they have been the better team all season. And I mean, I'm actually surprised. I thought these stats would be skewed more in Carolina's favor than they are. Um, but I'm giving
Frederick Anderson's the
this,
starting goalie, man. Come on,
is he?
not playing
Is
hockey anymore.
okay, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, Carolina in 5. That's what I'm going.
5.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
pretty much a
going with.
sweep. They took the Leafs to 7 last year, and now they're a better team. And I get that it's the Leafs, but I don't know. I think they're going to do better than 5 games.
All right, fair enough. Um, the second place in the Metro, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. We already talked about the Penguins a little bit. Um,
Flyers
the
suck.
the analysis is this: season points, 98 points each. Tie there. Goals per game, the Penguins have the edge, 3.6 to the Flyers, 3 even. Goals against per game, the Flyers had 3 even again. Pittsburgh had 3.2, so the Flyers have the edge there. Power play percentage goes to the Penguins, 24.1% versus the 15.7% from the Flyers. Penalty kill, 81.4% for the Penguins versus 77.6% of the Flyers. Sidney Crosby was the leading scorer for the Penguins, 74 points. Travis Konecny with 68 points was the leading scorer for the Flyers. Um, Younger, newer team in the Flyers, Pittsburgh, as we talked about, the trio having maybe the swan song run. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Pittsburgh can get some goaltending, I think it's. I picked Pittsburgh in 7, so it's a coin flip. I'm taking experience over enthusiasm and youth. But if Ladar turns it on, then watch out.
Yeah, you're not going to get any disagreements from me here. I too am taking the Penguins. Oh, there it asked it,
Penguin.
and I am too gonna throw in a 7 there.
Treat it like a slot machine, just sevens right across.
I put this one 6, 7, 5, 7
Six,
there.
7. Do we still do that?
Ugh, yeah, my kids do that. Let's go to the Western Conference and not talk about that. The my Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, you own them. You have a stake.
Yeah, I wish. Versus the Los Angeles Kings. Season points, the Avs have the edge there, 121 to 90. The Avs have more goals per game, 3.7 to 2.7. Goals against per game, the Avs have less, 2.5 to 3 for the Kings. Power play percentage it's basically a tie, 17.1 to 17 even. Penalty kill, the edge goes to the Avs there too, 84.6 versus LA's 74.6. Nathan MacKinnon, leading scorer for the Colorado Avalanche, 127 points. Adrian Kemp, 73 points for the LA Kings. Your
Okay, almost
thoughts?
double Adrian Kemp's points
Yeah. Um,
by 19. Is that right? Um, yeah, I picked. It's not even close, man. I'm surprised LA's even here. Colorado in 5 for me.
all right. The Avs loaded up or at slash around the trade deadline too. Um, I I
With Nicholas Roy and
Nazem
Who else did they
Kadri.
get at the deadline? Kadri,
Hmm.
Roy,
Hmm. That's right.
Skinner. It was a joke.
Skinner. Um, Look, a funny side observation before I give my obvious prediction. Um, the LA Kings switched basically back to like a modernized version of their like Gretzky era logo, even though they had their Stanley Cup wins in the previous, wearing the previous logo.
With the
Uh,
crown, was just the crown.
It was like it almost looked like a home plate type shape, like a crest with the crown in it and just the LA um like font in it, just the letters LA with the crown underneath that.
Right, right.
Yeah. Um it's amazing to me how
The
that
crown is
logo
different. Yeah.
change. Yeah, it's basically like they cut off this little out jut out thing from the logo, if you know what I mean, in the previous one.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. It was just a
Um,
shield
yeah, it's amazing how my opinion of this team has changed because of that.
because they went to the retro logo.
Yeah, I friggin' hated the Kings in their Stanley Cup years. they bring this logo back, and I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go Kings.
That's funny.
Um, but they're not going to win this series. The Avs are going to sweep them, and that's going to be the end of that. Thanks for coming out. And I don't even think
Sweep.
that's homerism there.
Yes.
You can call it that if you want, but um, the Avs are significantly better than the Kings.
We're gonna save that clip in case Colorado gets swept.
Oh, that'll you won't need to save it. It'll be playing in my head. The next series, the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. Okay, so the Stars had the edge in the season points, 112 to 104. Goals per game, the Stars slightly edged out the Wild, 3.4 to 3.3. The goals against per game was a slight edge to the Stars again, 2.8 to 2.9. Power play percentage, the Stars with 28.6, the Wild with 25.2. Penalty kill, again, not much of a difference, 80.3 to 79.8. Jason Robertson was the leading scorer for the Stars with 96 points, and Krilly Kaprizov with 89 points led the Wild. It's the Battle of Minnesota. The Stars moved from Minnesota to Dallas.
True.
It's they the Dallas Stars obviously have a star in their logo. The Minnesota Wild have a little star as the also acting as the eye in the logo of
The shooting star.
the Wild because there used to be the Minnesota North Stars. That's a little tribute to them in their logo. So it's the it's the star battle.
Great
Uh,
logo.
um, I think both of them are great logos actually, but any thoughts as to what's going to happen on the ice with these?
I picked Dallas in 7.
I think you're right
Uh,
in terms of it's going to be a close one. Yeah.
it's gonna be close. I think the Wild are gonna put up a good fight, but I think the Stars are just too good right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have too much else to offer to that. That's where I put it as well. Um, so there we go. The next matchup we have is the Las Vegas Golden Knights versus the Utah Mammoth. The Golden Knights had 95 points on the season. The Mammoth had 92. Goals per game was a tie. They each had 3.3. Goals against was also a tie, 3 even. Power play then goes to the Knights, 24.6 to 20 even. And the penalty kill also goes to the Knights, 81.4 to 78.1. Jack Eichel was the leading scorer for the Golden Knights with 90 points this year. Clayton Keller with 88 points, so it's only a couple points difference there as well. Sounds like it should be a close one on paper. Do you think it'll be a close one?
Yeah, I picked Utah in 7.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, I think they're on the up. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
excitement for their first trip to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Golden Knights are the team to kind of beat up on coming
I
down, and you know, Mitch Marner's not going to do anything for them, as we know. So
yeah, we know.
good luck,
We
Jack. It's on you, buddy.
um I think having been to a game in Vegas during the playoffs, it is a really, really fun place to go. I have a feeling Utah will also be a really cool place to go see a playoff game. I think the fans there will be going nuts too. I think this is going to be a series where home ice advantage actually means something. And because of that, Vegas gets one more home game. And even though I'm sick of seeing
Mm,
them, they're gonna take the series.
don't bet with your heart, Jared. That's the advice.
Yeah, yeah, right. Even
Not
though
that I
you've
take
never
it.
listened to
Not
it.
once.
And last matchup of the first round, we have the
It was good
Edmonton
advice.
Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. Edmonton ended the season with 93 points, the Ducks 92. Goals per game 3.5 for the Oilers, 3.3 even for the Ducks. Goals against 3.3 for the Oilers, 3.6 for the Ducks. Power play, as you mentioned earlier, 30.6% versus Anaheim's 18.6%. And penalty kill is 77.8 to Anaheim's 76.4. Connor McDavid with 138 points. He
Literally
just
has double the points of
of
Connor Gauthier.
with 69 nice points. Um
Jer.
um yeah, what do you think? We
I
talked a
picked
little
the
bit about
Oilers
it,
in
but
6,
I think the Oilers in six,
which is
yeah.
probably generous to the Ducks. Um,
Well,
yeah,
if
I
the
think the Oilers will get it done, but they're gonna limp through this one. I think.
I definitely have a soft spot for the Ducks. Um, but I have to agree. I think the Oilers are going to take this series. And yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say six as well. So we're gonna plug this in. A sweep for the Avs, a sevener here, a sevener there, and a sixer here. So do we want to keep going or do we want to save this for when the actual next rounds
No, we gotta
happen?
do the whole bracket.
Got to do the whole bracket.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
So
our black
let's,
brackets can get blown up too quickly.
yeah, okay, fair enough. And we do get the I'm not going to go through the analysis again every time. I'll pull it up on the screen so that we can see it while we talk about it. But I've said all these numbers already. Um, Staying in the West, uh, I have the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. This one's a little bit closer. It looks like the Stars absolutely take the power play percentage there. And I'm thinking you have this matchup too, right?
Yep,
In your
I do.
bracket? Yeah.
The
Okay.
only
So
really significant thing is the power play percentage,
right.
which you're playing the same team over potentially 7 games. Like that's skewed a little bit, right?
Hmm.
Because you can't beat up on the crappy teams. So it's very close. Um, yeah, I took the Avalanche. It's not showing me my numbers. I don't remember them.
Okay. Well, I too am taking the Avalanche, obviously, and I am going to put that. I think I'm going to put that at 6 games. And then we both have Vegas and Edmonton, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I did not take Vegas to go through. I took the Utah
Uh,
Mammoth to go through.
oh, I apologize.
Yeah,
Why don't you
Utah in 6.
over the Oilers?
Yeah, I think the Oilers are just going to run out of gas.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pull up the analysis here quickly on my end of things. Pretty close. Am I gonna go with my heart or am I gonna go with
I gave you the advice twice.
yeah, you did. You did. Here's what I'm gonna say. Edmonton over the last 3 years knows what it takes to get to the Stanley Cup. They're gonna go to the Western Conference Final again.
It takes
But
talent, which I don't think they have, beyond a certain few.
yeah, you could say yeah, I think Vegas might be a little bit deeper, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna back down.
Hey,
Um,
I don't take the advice either. It's okay.
but I am gonna say that's gonna be a 7 game series for sure.
Hmm,
On my side, on my Eastern Conference, I have Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I'm guessing you have Buffalo and Montreal.
correct.
Do you want to start with Buffalo and Montreal there?
I picked Buffalo over Montreal. I just
And
think the momentum is too much to stop. I think it's gonna be 7 games.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I just couldn't see Montreal going to a conference final. Again, it just made me mad, so I'm betting with my heart there.
Uh, I- s- Speaking from the Montreal end of things, I
Because my
think.
thing is, like, if I pick them for the conference final
Mhm.
over the opponent, then I'm like, they're going to the Stanley Cup. I'm like, that's not happening this year.
No, it's not. And that's kind of if I'm picking between Montreal and Buffalo, Montreal will have their time. They're on the up, I think.
They're going to be very good.
Yeah, I just don't think this is the year. So on that end of things, I would pick Buffalo. I'm gonna say the opposite thing for Tampa Bay, though, in my bracket. They're they've been here, they've done it a lot, but they're older. They played a lot of hockey over the past, what, like 6 years.
Hmm.
Um, and Buffalo is just picking heart and picking where they were in the standings. We're going to put the Sabres through to the conference final, but they're not going to get there easily. It's going to be a 6 game series. And then do you have Carolina, Pittsburgh?
I have Carolina, Pittsburgh.
Okay. Gonna pull up the analysis there. Things are skewed pretty much all towards Carolina. They've had a great season. They really have. I want to pick the Penguins because I like this story, like we talked about, of the trio's last run, blah blah blah. But I
Mm-hmm.
I can't go with heart here. I have to pick Carolina, and I'm gonna give it to them in 5. What are you gonna say?
Carolina's going to choke, and the trio moves on
Wow,
to face Buffalo in the final.
nice. I I I would prefer that. How's
I,
that?
I think I think Game 7, Crosby's going to go to the locker room at the second intermission, be like, guys, we're down by 9 goals. We can do this.
9 goals.
And Frederick Anderson, just get me the puck or get open when I have the puck. We'll do this. And they go on to win 11-9.
There you go. So we'll stay in the East. You have Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
I've got Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
Is the high of making that 9 goal comeback, 10 goal game for Crosby, going to continue and move them into the Stanley Cup final, or are the Sabres
Yeah,
going to do it?
he didn't come out for the third. He had a headache. So
Okay.
he's a question mark for this whole series, and Buffalo wins. Buffalo goes
I
on to a Stanley Cup final in their first playoff run in a decade, or however long it was.
I I would absolutely love for that to be the case. Um, I you're
You're
right.
taking Carolina?
Oh,
Really? Frederick Anderson is going to a Stanley Cup final?
I think so. I think so. I don't want it to be. I really don't, but I think they're going to do it.
I have to look
Uh,
at this lineup.
I'm gonna make it a 7 gamer, but I would much rather see the Buffalo Sabres there, obviously. Um, but I can't bet against them right now. They were, as we pulled this up quickly, 113 points, first in the East. Only Colorado had more points than
This
them,
team
so
was first in
second
the East? Wow.
second in the NHL.
I'm looking at this lineup and I don't get it.
Can I say it's
Like Jordan Stahl's running your
plus
second power play?
plus 56 goal differential.
Wow.
53 wins is enough to be 3 wins more than the next teams, which is Buffalo and Tampa Bay at 50 wins in the East. And the only team that had more wins than them this year was Colorado. Like
Wow. So is
they
Reno.
had they had a good year. Um, your Western Conference final, you have Colorado and
I have Colorado going over the Buffalo Sabres.
no, your conference final
Oh, my conference final
for the West. It's a
for the West. I have Colorado going over Utah.
Utah. Yeah.
I can't see Utah beating them.
No, I can understand that. And again, it would be a nice story for Edmonton to get there for a third time and actually do it. But I I have Colorado going through to the Stanley Cup final as well. You've got one versus two here in my bracket. You've got Colorado versus Buffalo in your bracket. I'll start. I'll let you wait, you already said it,
I
didn't
already
you?
said it. I
Yeah,
already
yeah. I'll
spoiled it
let
for
you
everybody.
start.
Colorado going. I can't see Buffalo beating Colorado.
hmm
As fun as that would be for Buffalo.
Oh, I would love that.
Um, I can't. It feels weird to pick Colorado as a Stanley Cup winner.
hmm
But
Why?
when you look at I don't know. It just feels like I didn't watch a ton of hockey this year, so
hmm
I didn't like watch any Colorado games like you
hmm
might have.
I
Um,
definitely did, yeah.
it's going on like they've always been a good team. Like Nathan McKinnon in that core, bringing in those other pieces. It feels like I don't know. It just feels weird to pick them. But like again, when you look at the bracket, like I'm not going with Edmonton. Vegas is out first round. Who else is there? It's like they're the team,
hmm And you
and they've
know,
had a great season. So like this is
yeah,
this is it.
this is it. So whether it's Carolina or whether it's Buffalo, and boy, would it be so cool to see Buffalo finally win a Stanley Cup. Boy, would it be cool for Edmonton to finally get over the hump and get that Stanley Cup. But at the end of the day, Colorado's the best team in the league. They're the best team in my heart. As cheesy as that is to say, I'm picking the Avs as well.
Number of goals. How many number of goals are going to be in the Stanley Cup final, Jer?
Oh, yeah. Great. I hate these questions. Whoops.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Because I never know what to say. Um, I guess if we
If you have to pick a number, it's 42.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna
Are you
say
doing math right now?
30. Yeah. Six
Well,
game series and 5 goals per game. I'm gonna say 30. That's my logic for
fair enough.
whatever reason.
No, I picked 35, and it was the same logic, except
This,
7 games,
yeah.
because the Sabres are better than Carolina.
I'm not gonna argue that.
What do you mean you're not going to argue that?
Well,
Look at your bracket. You did argue it.
okay, I did argue it, but what I mean by I'm not going to argue that is I don't want to I didn't want to pick the Hurricanes over the Sabres. I did it based on the stats.
Based on you feeling that they are a better team.
Mm. Anyways, um, Buffalo, I love you. That's all I'm going to say to that. How's that?
Not bad.
Okay, well, that's our predictions.
There's
It's
still time to put in yours.
yeah, absolutely. If you're in the league, and you know what? If you're not in the PHL, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna post the link to this NHL prediction challenge thing in the description for this video. And if you want to join our little group here with the PHL um, league players and all that, click on the link, join us, throw your predictions in. While you're at it, because you're clearly on that page, like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And we'll see you Tuesday when a few of these games have gotten underway. And
Sweet.
have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
The money sauce